Hey everyone, I'm Mind, and this is set number 71702, the Golden Mech from the Winter 2020 wave of Ninjago Legacy. This set contains 489 pieces, 4 minifigures, and retails for $39.99 in the US. Mechs are always really awkward to film because they're very vertical, and obviously videos are usually shot landscape, so it makes like a lot of empty space while this is struggling to fit into frame. So let's get those minifigures out of the way and start taking a look at the mech itself. I never had the original Golden Mech, so this is my first time getting one, and it's why I really wanted this set, just to have a Golden Mech in my collection, since it's such like an important part of Season 2. It's also why I unfortunately cannot do a Legacy versus original comparison video unless I end up buying the old one secondhand, because this is the only version I have. I have to say though, getting this version, I don't feel like I'm missing out on much with the original though. To start off, just like the Earth Mech that I reviewed recently, this guy has knees. You can actually bend the leg at the knee. You can swing back and forward. It doesn't have nearly as much articulation as the Earth Mech, right? The Earth Mech could go back for a lot further, but there's still some articulation in the knees, which is really cool to see because that's a very new thing for LEGO. They usually don't have knees in their mechs. And then the foot here is very similar to the Earth Mech in that it only goes back and forth like this, like very slightly, and side to side a lot more dramatically. And I think that's just weird. Like, foot doesn't need to go side to side. Back and forth would be a lot more useful for poses, but it's sort of locked in place there. But with the hips and knee, you still can get some decent articulation and get this guy in a lot of different poses. I just wish the foot could move back and forth like this a lot more, because side to side is really unnecessary and honestly makes it feel a little unstable. Moving up to the arms, you have one of like these Technic pin joints that they've used for many, many years. It's like, this is the alternative to the ball joint, and while it's more rigid, it allows for a lot more stability in your poses, right? This won't get knocked down accidentally. If you pose it, it'll stay in that pose. And you can rotate it 360 degrees and then move it back and forth. And this just allows for a great range of motion, and I like how this looks a lot. There's also a ball joint at the elbows. You can move it forward and back like this, and that's pretty cool. There's no articulation at the hand, but there is articulation at the fingers. There's a Technic pin in here to hold the sword. Obviously, the sword by default is on this side, but you could switch sides, or you can make a second sword for this, but by default this set only comes with one. They just give you room to attach to. And there's a total of 4 fingers here, or 3 fingers and a thumb, and they all move individually, and you can have them wrap around the sword. You guys can see here they're all wrapped around, and you can undo it like that, take the sword out, and you can see it's just a golden blade piece with a little handle right here, and then you can put it back in. Here's an example of just like a dynamic pose. You can get it in thanks to the knees. Trying to get this mech in this pose though made me feel like unfortunately there's not enough articulation in this, because yeah, the legs can move back and you can create dynamic motion with the knees, but I feel like the knee joints don't give a wide enough range of motion. Like, you can't even get both feet on the ground if they're spread apart. They can only both be on the ground if the mech's standing straight up like this. I feel like there's been mechs without knees that have better articulation than this, so this is just disappointing to see. Moving up to the main body of the mech, you have like these 2 winged pieces right here. This is a weird choice to me. I feel like these wings would fit in better like on the back of a mech. Like, this doesn't really look like a front of a mech design, but honestly, it's a creative choice, and I don't think it looks that bad. It's just unusual. It also got a bit of red, like, as a belt around here, which is odd. I don't know what the red is, and it doesn't, like, fit in with the color scheme and everything else. So I do wish that was gold or white to fit in with everything else, because I'm not all too sure why it's there. Moving into the cockpit, you can see a little printed console piece, and you can see the hat right here. It could flip down or flip up like that. That is a giant printed piece right there, which is super cool, seeing a printed piece of that size. Like, it's not often we see that. And then we just have a golden hat piece on top, which you can remove. Lloyd can fit into the mech right here like this. You can even have a sword on him. It will bend a little bit if you put him in the mech with the sword, but you can close it up with him in the mech with the sword, and he fits in perfectly. So that's cool if there's enough room to hold the weapon, because normally sets like this, they can't hold a weapon in their vehicle, so that's pretty cool to see. And then coming around to the back, it's not pretty. I'd say it's prettier than most mechs of this size, right? Most LEGO mechs do not do a very good job of covering up the anti-studs on the back. You got a few anti-studs down here, but here we have like some gold pieces covering them up, and these are actual studs, and it still doesn't look great, but it looks better than a lot of LEGO mechs that exist, so I'd say this is pretty good in that department. Moving up here, we have also these blades at the tops of the mechs. These are on small ball joints, and you can move them around a little bit just to change the look of the mech. I don't think there's much point in moving these, but they're here if to move them if you want. And then there's a little stickered flag right here of, I'm not sure what that symbol means, but I know that's been on Wu's outfits before, and just one of those little dragon hilt pieces. I like how this flag was designed. I think it's pretty cute. So here are the first 2 figures in this set. We have Golden Lloyd and Master Wu. Both of these figures were included in the Legacy sets in 2019, so neither are new for this set. Well, actually the shoulder piece on Lloyd, this armor piece in gold, is new for this set, but everything else is just a reuse of the 2019 figures. This Golden Lloyd is an excellent minifigure though, like the level of detail on it is incredible, and the way they have like that gold printing on top of the gold torso makes him look really cool. And I love how they put this green detailing all throughout, because the original Golden Lloyd was very golden. He had some green bits, but they didn't really like exaggerate the green that much. It was mostly focused on the fact that he was gold. And while this figure is very gold, I like how they incorporated the green in there to keep the fact that, yeah, he is the Green Ninja. And then Legacy Wu is essentially just 2011 Wu, just with a slightly redesigned torso and legs, and it looks good. Here these two are with their hood and hat and accessories removed. You can see Golden Lloyd has like this golden energy burst on his face, and it's just gold printing on top of the gold head, so it's sometimes a little too hard to see. But seeing it in person, like the way the gold printing reflects and the head doesn't, it looks super cool, and that expression he has, it really looks like he's bursting with energy. And that's just such a cool look, and I love how that face looks. And then Wu just has a face that he's had since the movie where he looks a little surprised. Turning these guys around, you can see Lloyd's alternate face and Wu's back torso print, as well as Lloyd's back torso print. I think it's weird that Golden Lloyd has two faces. I'm not complaining, like, thank you. But just because he's gonna pretty much always have his hood up, and both faces are quite similar, they're just angry, one is just angrier than the other. I think two faces is a little unnecessary, but as I said, that's not a complaint. I just feel like LEGO could have saved some money if they didn't do two faces. But like, I appreciate the two faces, they do both look good, and I like the other one more, but this one's still cool. And then you just see he has a dragon symbol on his back with a green circle around it, some dragon printing, and then Wu's just got a dragon symbol on his back too. The final two figures in this set are General Kozu and a Stone Warrior. General Kozu here is exclusive. This is the only set he comes in. And this is our third version of General Kozu we've gotten. We had the original, we had the Day of the Departed version, and then we have this one. And I think this is definitely the worst of the three. It seems to be based on his Day of the Departed version instead of his original version, which is odd because obviously this is based on the set is based on when he originally appeared, so I don't know why they didn't go back to that design. And I don't know, it just makes him look really boring. He has a similar design to the regular Stone Warriors, while in the show, the original Kozu design was all red, and that really made him stand out. So this one is just a step down from that. And then he has less exclusive parts now, too. He no longer has his special upper torso mold. Instead, he just uses the movie Garmadon torso mold, which is flat at the front and has printing instead of texturing, which is just disappointing to see because the original was a lot more detailed than this is. And while this works for Garmadon, it really doesn't fit for Kozu. Additionally, instead of having his like custom samurai guard that the old one used to have, he just has the standard Samurai X guard over his mouth. And that's just another like step down. Like, what's the point of it? One thing I do like about this figure, though, is he comes with the Ice Elemental Blade, which is a bit weird, but it's a reference to the fact that the only set that Kozu came in originally was a set that Zane came in, and in that set, like, Kozu was holding the Ice Elemental Blade because the whole goal of those old sets was, hey, the bad guys steal the weapons from the good guys. So even though Zane doesn't come in this set, it's a nice reference to the original set that Kozu did come in. And then this guy's just a standard Stone Warrior. He's got a red straw hat, and he's got yellow face markings. Here these guys are with their hats removed, so you can get a better look at their faces. Kozu's face is pretty standard. It's what his face has been pretty much since the beginning. It's a new design, but it's essentially the same thing as the past two. I'm not going to remove his upper torso because it's the same as this guy. His under torso is the same exact torso, and they both have the same legs as well. And they're there from the back. Yeah, the Stone Warrior comes with a quiver, but if you want to see what his back torso print looks like, it's just this, because as I said, they had the same torso. So overall, I feel like I had a lot of criticisms in this review, but that doesn't mean I dislike the set. Because honestly, as someone who never had the original Golden Mech, I'm super happy to have this in my collection. It's not the most posable mech, but it also isn't the least posable, and it's still like a good-looking design for a build. To me, it's everything I would want for a display piece for Golden Mech. If I was still a little bit younger and I was like playing with LEGO on a regular basis, I don't know how much I'd like it, because it can be kind of a pain to pose in different ways. But I still think the designers did a really good job here, and I am very happy to have this in my collection. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you're interested in buying this set, go click my Amazon affiliate link in the description. It'll take you to the Amazon listing for this set. If you buy through my link, it'll help support me at no extra cost to you, and I would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this set in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please press like, subscribe if you're new. I do LEGO videos like this every single day, so if you subscribe, you'll be the first to see them. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.